Hey, Rich Crankshaw, Crankcast Americana. You may notice the site is devoid of all my past Crankcast things I didn't wanna do. This is sort of a travel blog channel, Crankcast Americana. Slowly but surely build up to it. I plan on a trip to see my son and my sister in Florida in another couple of weeks. So today, the first video that I'm uploading is in my local area, going up 97 through Hawksnest and then up eventually to 17 back home. And here's the route. So here's the mission for the day: to use all three cameras on this trip. This is with the cell phone. So here's where I'm starting off. I live up this way on 209 in Huguenot. So you take 97, which is here, and this area right here is called Hawksnest, and this is or along the Hudson. I think I'm back in the Adirondacks. The Delaware River, and this is a very famous stretch. A lot of movies and a lot of commercials were filmed here. It's a nice windy turn with a brick wall, a short brick wall along the Hudson. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get out and take pictures because of the snow, and then when we get to this area, it starts venturing away from the river a little bit, and especially in here, it starts to get a little bit of a not such a well-traveled road. And then I'll take that 97 all the way up to Hancock, which is here. And then we'll do lunch here, and then take 17 back to, 17 back to 209, which is right here, right? No, 17, 209 here, Wurtsboro. And then 209 is where my road is, and then that just takes us right back home to Huguenot. So that is the mission. So with any, initial project that you start for testing purposes and research, something always happens. And the original goal was to incorporate all three of my cameras: the GoPro, the cell phone, and the GH5. The weird thing is that here, when I recorded the original intro, because this is the intro now, but I'm recording this later on because I discovered that it didn't record the intro that I made before I left here in the studio with the GH5. And then when I took the GH5 and took a series of stills with it, it recorded video instead of the stills. So something happened with the settings. And again, I'm still learning that camera, and that, I swear that's never happened to me before. Honest. But anyway, this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to start developing this channel. Right now, this isn't a reflection of how the videos are going to end up being. I will eventually be maturing and improving. No bells and whistles with this one, just to get a video posted. So let's begin the trip, shall we? Okay, so I'm leaving the driveway at my house, and I live in an area that is literally right between the Pocono Mountains and the Catskills. So Port Jervis is on the very point where New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York meet, and I'm about 5 or 6 miles outside of town. So I'm going to pull out of the driveway here, I'm going to flip the camera around, and I'm going to use time warp, which will speed up the process until we get to a point of interest. And the great thing about this new time warp feature in this GoPro is you can stop it and it'll still record in real time. And today I have a guest with me, my wife. Say hello.
Hello.
So let's turn this camera around and make it so. I'm stopping here for some coffee, a little place in Port Jervis, and then from here we head right out 97, and like I said, we'll pass by Hawksnest. And once I get to Hawksnest, I'll slow the camera down and get back into regular mode and film Hawksnest, because it's a really cool, and maybe, I'm not sure, with the snow we might not be able to pull over and take pictures, because I think last summer or spring or something like that, some kid was racing through there. A lot of the street racers go through this little section. He went off the wall and dropped down. There's a big drop off down to the Delaware River. And he died. So they blocked off a lot of the pull-offs by the wall, and there's a couple of them towards the end, but they're on the other side, and you got to cross the street. So we'll see. So we are now approaching Hawksnest, they call this. And like I said, there's been a lot of movies filmed here and TV commercials. So you can't see the definition of the wall, but once you see this brick wall and these curves, you spot it every time. You know exactly which commercials and which movies were filmed here. It's kind of a iconic spot in this area. Now to the south, which is to the left of me, is the Hudson, and then Pennsylvania. And this is still New York, so to the right and to the north would be the Catskill Mountains. So as you can see, these curves it's a a lot of these young kids with the street racers. It's very popular here. They like to get on it. I've seen guys in these pull-offs on the left, which are all snowed out right now, with drones, just drones hanging out over the highway, and their buddies are in the cars going back and forth, or motorcycles. And somewhere along here, someone went plowing off and died. So there is really not a good place to pull off that is would be considered safe. That's posted on the right. So no luck. So sometimes there's pull-offs along the river once we get down to the down towards the river level. So here's a good little pull-off along the Delaware. There's Pennsylvania across the river there, the frozen Delaware. This is phenomenal because this whole stretch all the way to past Port Jervis, lots of rafting along this river, and plus it's one of the cleanest rivers in the nation. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, growing up upstate with the Hudson and the Mohawk, both pretty polluted, this is real beautiful. Yeah, so Pennsylvania that way. Behind me is the Catskills. We're going to essentially be going through the Catskills shortly. We're not going across to Pennsylvania. But it's cold. It's real cold. We just had a little patch of clouds roll through, so it had a little bit of flurries. And still, the sun is out today. It's actually going to be, you know, it turns out to be a nice day, but when we head into further in the mountains, we're probably going to get more snow coming down, but nothing like major. So let's drive. Pulling away from the river and heading up into the mountains, kind of, not really into the heart of the Catskills yet. Well, actually we won't be either. It'll just be sort of the lower end of the southern end of the Catskills. But if I remember correct, I mean, I've taken these routes before, but soon unless I missed it, there's a real back road on this route, and I think it's on 97. I don't remember, but I've taken this route quite a few times, and there's a lot of cool little, you know, what I like to do anyway is take the off-roads. I don't, you know, these main roads are cool, you know, but nothing says Americana like taking a back road somewhere for miles, just seeing real Americans and real people and real life, you know. And the highways just sort of like, you get up to 55 and 60 and you bypass everything. You don't get to really take a look at it. There's always something cool to see. Back along the Delaware, which is on the left, so we went up and over a little bit of a mountainous area, and now we're back along the Delaware, the scenic byway, as they call it. So I gotta find a spot to pull over and get my bearings and push forward. We're taking a access road, chasing some turkeys. They are not ready to be Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, he flew all the way up there, all the way up on the tree. Oh. This is heading, it says Delaware River access, lots of these side roads, and keep driving past them, and I'm like, this is why I'm doing this. I got to stop doing that. Got to take that extra step to make these videos worth watching, you know. And if I just keep driving and, you know, that's boring. We got to get some cool shots. Now, this is a decent little road. There's a deer. See that? Pulled off the side of the road, and we got. Did you get the deer? Right there. Ying.
Yeah, yeah, you need to wait. I need to take my video.
Wait a minute, okay. Oh, there's a couple of them here. You see them? We got to see some critters going under the bridge. So this is Basket Creek Fishing Access Site. In a little slick spot, so I just engaged 4-wheel high. So now we got to figure out where this road takes us. So it stops there, stops here, so no outlet. So this doesn't access the Delaware. Yeah, so this is fishing access, but it's not access to the Delaware like it said, unless I missed the turn. But there's a nice little brook here. I bet you there's some good trout fishing here. They do a lot of fly fishing up in this area, but I'm gonna trek through the snow here. Whoa, it's deep. Get as close as possible without endangering myself. Nice. Follow the deer tracks, but the rest of this is ice, so if I step any further I might go through. Nice. I'm gonna go get the camera, take some snapshots here. I can do it with this camera, but I got the GH5 with me, why not? Yeah, this is awesome. Nice. This is what it's all about, man. Life, getting out of the house and doing stuff. It's about time. But yeah, I'm gonna grab the camera. Yeehaw. All right, gonna head back to the highway. Get out of the boonies, the toolies, the woods. Yeah, this is nice. Not as deep into the woods as I'd like to go. One of these days I'm gonna take a trip up to my my friend's place. I'll do a video. He's in the real deep in the Adirondacks, Mark. Oh, right here, coming up, I think. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. It was just a So Hancock is the next stop, and I am going to pull over and grab a bite to eat there. There's the turkey.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
There's the turkeys again.
Wait. Stop. You need to stop.
Oh, you want to get closer, don't you?
Yeah, I can do close because
They keep sinking. It's funny. Don't you wish you had arms with poles?
okay.
Gobble, gobble. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're gonna do this kind of gig, I think it's best to do it with a truck, because that way you can go do some overlanding. That's going to the areas that usually a car can't go. Now that's not one of them. I mean, a car could have went down there fine, but you know what I'm saying. So this is Hancock, New York. So we're getting towards Interstate 17. I'm not sure, I don't remember if this was a large enough town to have a something to eat besides a gas station. It's just another little town in upstate New York. And I will bet you if there's anything, it would be this way, because I remember going that way and there's nothing. Gas station, like I said. Little Italy too, that's open, a pizzeria. Got a Walgreens. There we go, Mickey D's. You want Mickey to downloads? Mission accomplished. Just had lunch at Mickey D's. One of my least favorite all-time places to eat, but it's always consistent. It's the same thing no matter where you go, so you know what you're getting. Fat! You're getting fat! So, now we're gonna head to 17, and this trip is pretty much over. So my first test project is about in the books, and I gotta organize it all and edit and then upload. And I gotta still delete all the videos on the Crankcast, change the name. Not really worried right now about aesthetics, you know, bells and whistles and all that crap. That'll come later. Just a simple upload. Exiting off of 17, and this is where I get to my road, 209. This is Wurtsboro, New York. This goes straight up through the Catskills if I go north, and then south is it goes back down to the Delaware River and Port Jervis. It goes actually into Pennsylvania, all through Pennsylvania. But yeah, this is the road that I live on. We are there. Home, George. That's right, George. We made it home, didn't we, George? Somebody's on my rear end. I hope they don't hit me when I take a right into my own home. Here we are, George. Papa is walking. There's my father-in-law. And that is a wrap. So, a lot to learn. You know, number one is make sure I know what I'm doing with all this equipment. You know, it's really, there's so much to learn, but I have no excuse. And, you know, this was a interesting trip. I still have yet to evaluate the footage on the GoPro, which is the brunt of the whole video. So fingers crossed on that one. Okay. But right now, until I evaluate the footage and sort of achieve the lessons based on the video footage, I could say that number one, I should have stopped more and driven less. So there's a lot of the time warp footage, which I'm going to consolidate. Obviously, I'm not going to bore everybody, and there'll be music behind the time warp section. But the whole point of the travel blog is, a combination of that in between. I mean, actually, who's to say? I've seen so many videos of these people, researching every element of this, from the equipment to how people put this stuff together to even specific of people, who do travel blogs. And, some of them have very high opinions of themselves, and they insist that the way they do it is the way everybody should do it. Well, this is social media, and, it's a very, very non-formatted type of thing. And I've seen a couple travel videos of guys who really, they never do the same thing in every video, and they're just interesting because they provide a lot of interesting footage. Even some of the driving footage is cool. I remember when I started the channel last year, I was fascinated by watching other videos of people who didn't say a word. They didn't get out of their car. All they did was drive from, like, say, the loneliest highway in America, Route 66 and that type of thing. That's all they did was drive. And they had it in fast forward with some music. And it was like, why am I so fascinated about this? Because it's America, man. Americana. Crankcast Americana. So, nothing to say in terms of the footage from the GoPro yet. I haven't evaluated yet. In fact, I'm still learning the process of very complicated getting the files into the app, from the app into the phone. Even though the app is on the phone, it's a very strange conversion because the files will not go directly into Premiere from the card. So this is the first of many, hopefully. I think perhaps before I go to Florida, maybe I can do one more. But I think from this point on, until I prepare, I have to go up there. All my gear is up there. All my travel gear, because I buttoned this down for the winter so that I could use that thing. And this thing works phenomenally in this garage, even though there's no insulation. It heats it right up. So anyway, thanks for checking out video 1, which I believe I'll be titling Hawksnest and Delaware River, even though I called it the Hudson River once. Rich Crankshaw, it's the Crankcast Americana. Thanks for hanging out.